Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to talk about a flat-out lie that's been floating around our local fish community. You might have walked into a shop or scrolled through social media and heard someone say, "Hey, we all buy from the same distributors. If a store is charging more, they're just being greedy." It's a great story, it's comforting, it sounds logical, but it's also complete garbage, or as I like to say, they're full of detritus. I was recently sent a video from a customer where another store bluntly claimed that all local stores within our community use the same exact vendors, and if a store is charging more, they're doing it because those stores are being greedy. I found that strange because while some shop owners might still drive to the same local wholesalers on the same exact day or take free delivery from local wholesalers, I don't do that anymore. I'm here to tell you that livestock quality is not a commodity. We don't all buy from the same people. Anybody can move or flip fish. At my store, I choose to protect them. Over 2 decades of experience has taught me that the industry standards simply are not set high enough, and I choose to refuse to accept subpar livestock just to fill a glass box. Let's talk about the reality of global sourcing. The idea that all fish cost the same at the source, that's a total myth. Every exporter charges different prices for their fish because their operating standards are completely different. Some fish are raised in state-of-the-art biosecure facilities, while others are raised in basic outdoor dirt ponds. Some exporters use pre-medications and high-quality nutrition while the fish are under their care, and some others just don't. Quality determines price, and an exporter's business model dictates their overhead. It starts the moment the fish leave the water of origin. The quality of imports varies widely based on collection methods, holding facility conditions, and international shipping standards. High-end suppliers care about the way they bag their livestock, the meds they might put in the bag, the oxygen levels they use, and temperature control maintained during their transport. All of these factors determine whether a fish arrives thriving or half dead from stress and ammonia poisoning. Furthermore, local wholesalers have to factor in their own shipping costs, box fees, packaging, and tariffs, which roll over into the price a retail store pays. For my store, I don't just drive to the nearest wholesaler just to dodge freight costs, box fees, or heat packs. I willingly pay the extra to import directly or work with premier wholesalers near and far because of the consistency and quality of the product. And then there's the behind-the-scenes stuff like credit and quality factor. The truth is, many stores are limited in their resources because of how they run their business in the first place. There's an industry secret that some shops don't want you to know. Some stores can't even buy from certain suppliers because they didn't pay their bills, they burned their credit lines, and got cut off. I maintain financial integrity and pay my bills on time, giving me unrestricted access to the best suppliers in the world. I've personally walked into some of these local wholesalers in the tri-state area, and I definitely didn't like what I saw. There was death, complete lack of medication, zero UV filtration, no decontamination of nets, and piles of dead fish in tanks, while employees scoop the surviving fish out to bag for an unsuspecting retail store. I also didn't appreciate the gossip. If a wholesaler is talking trash about other shops, chances are they're going to talk trash about me. I didn't need credit, my money's always been green, and I've never burned a supplier. But I choose not to support operations with low standards when I've spent years researching and developing excellent professional relationships with top-tier partners. And don't buy into the marketing hype that when a competitor brags about hand-picked fish, it's like it's an exclusive luxury service for just them. They aren't sitting on FaceTime with a guy in Thailand saying, "Yeah, catch that specific one." Elon Musk hasn't invented a robot harvest fish yet. Every fish from every farm is caught by a human hand. The magic isn't the act of picking. The magic is having the high standards and financial reputation to partner with top-tier farms that protect their own names by shipping only premium livestock. And then there's biosecurity versus the centralized sump system. The real undeniable difference between stores happens the moment those fish hit the water in a fish store. Look at how a store actually houses their livestock. It tells you everything you need to know about their business model. Most shops run massive centralized sump systems where 100 or more tanks all share the exact same water. It's cheap to build, it's easy to maintain, and it's also a biological ticking time bomb at certain times. If a fish in a tank gets ick, or flukes, or a severe bacterial infection, every single fish in all 100 tanks is swimming in that disease and can become susceptible to infection. I've invested heavily in building filtration systems across the board that run independently. If a pathogen enters one system, it stays isolated. Running over 100 independent filters requires massive infrastructure, it requires endless hours of labor, and a serious electric bill in the winter. When you combine that regimen with high-quality nutrition instead of cheap flakes and actual medicine to treat imports, you start to see where all that money actually goes. When a store invests in individual filtration, premium nutrition, and ethical sourcing, that isn't greed. That's an investment in the life of the animal and your success as a hobbyist. We even keep our rare boutique freshwater species, from delicate nanofish to high-end plecos and vibrant cichlids, in fully hardscape planted environments and not just glass boxes that are bare on the bottom. A cheap fish that dies in 3 days and wipes out your established aquarium at home isn't a bargain. It's basically the most expensive fish that you'll ever buy. So that leaves us with the true topic of discussion, the gimmick and the basement operation. In this industry, there will always be a store that uses cheap gimmicks. They go onto a competitor's website, they see what price they're charging, and they reduce their price by a single dollar. That doesn't make the higher price store greedy, it makes the lower price store desperate for customers. Often, this desperation is fueled by unfair competition. We have local wholesalers in Pennsylvania and New Jersey that unfortunately sell to what I refer to as basement operations. These are people running side hustles out of residential communities without a brick and mortar storefront, proper commercial licensing, specialized liability insurance, or even zoning permits. Because they have virtually no overhead, they can most certainly charge lower prices. To put this into perspective, imagine you put your life savings into a building, basically, let's call it a neighborhood pizzeria. You went through all the zoning permits, you passed all the health inspections, you bought the commercial equipment and paid for your liability insurance. Then, the house next door decides to start selling the exact same pizza right out of their kitchen door without any licensing, no permits, and no overhead. How would that make you feel? You did everything the right way while they sidestepped the rules. That is exactly what's happening in the aquarium industry, and it's a major reason why brick and mortar stores are disappearing. Historically, hobbyists and breeders bought their breeding stock from retail stores. When wholesalers bypass us to sell to basement operations, it destroys the retail ecosystem. It even extends to wholesalers selling directly to their own employees, who then go home, throw the fish in their personal tanks, and sell them on the very same marketing platforms I use to promote my business. Most brick and mortar store owners rely entirely on their shops to sustain their families. A basement operation is almost always a side hustle backed by a full-time job that pays their bills. If you wonder why local fish stores are closing, it's not just because the owners got old or tired, or even if they got lazy. It's because shady business practices are draining the life out of the industry. So all that information leaves me with this thought: quality has a cost. You will not find fish or dry goods in my store from companies that sell to basement operations, and I wish other brick and mortar stores would follow suit. I've been very fortunate to partner with suppliers who respect the brick and mortar model and who carry a variety of rare premium fish that some local wholesalers don't even have access to. The next time someone tries to tell you that all fish stores are the same and it's all just a pricing game, don't buy into the lie, don't believe the hype. Look at all the tanks, look at the water, look at the health and environment of the livestock. When you buy from me, you're not just buying a fish. You're buying 20 years of trial and error, financial integrity, and an absolute refusal to cut corners. Quality has a cost, and in this hobby, you get exactly what you pay for. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this, and if you like what you heard, feel free to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up.